everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shan from Shan Lifts Weights over on Instagram. So today I'm going to go into detail about my own personal weight loss and fitness journey. How I lost 85 pounds in 18 months, so a year and a half. I'm actually quite nervous to film this video, mainly because I want to tell the story right. Obviously it's very personal to me. I don't want to tell you too much, but I also want to tell you enough for you to understand, as I'm sure so many of you can relate as well. I don't want to ramble too much either, so it's just, I want to do it right. For me, the period in life between 8 and 11 that was quite stressful for me, and I think that's kind of where I started putting on some weight. Probably, I think I used to comfort eat as a child around that time, so I started putting on a little bit of weight. In secondary school, I noticed that I was getting bigger, and I was a lot bigger than most of the girls in my year. I think when I went to leave school, I was probably around a size 14, which is quite standard for a woman nowadays. Like, that's fine, but most of my peers were a size 8 or smaller. All through school I was bullied for my weight. I had like the most amazing friends at school, but I was kind of the odd one out because I was the biggest, and obviously like never had any school boyfriends. Like, I don't know, I kind of just felt like the odd one out all through school. I just felt like the ugly fat friend basically all through school. So I think I tried to like compensate for that by, when we started going out and like going to social things at like 16 onwards, I would try and be the funny one, and always, like, if I was drinking, try and be like the stupid drunk one that drank more and was always the wilder one. I had to be always like more than how I looked, I think. I worked in retail, I used to eat a lot of shit. I had the implant put in, which my weight kind of rapidly grew as well then. And then I think I just tried to match like with all my friends. Like, if my slim friends could eat 2 McDonald's, I'd eat the same. And I probably was a lot less active. Like, I wasn't interested in any activities or sports or anything then. All I would do is eat shit and drink, basically. From like 17 to 20 is all I did. I drove everywhere, I was lazy as hell, and I was miserable. Literally, I just did all this partying and just everything to try and mask how miserable I was. I suffered with anxiety and depression massively. I didn't quite understand it then, but I would just cry all the time and just be miserable at how I looked. And I'd be going out, I still was the token ugly fat friend, basically. I was like a size 18, I think, when I was 18 to 20. I didn't realise how big I was. I was in complete denial, completely. I refused to believe that I was bigger than that. I basically wore oversized stuff all the time. I had no confidence at all unless I was drinking. I had no confidence in men either, because I hardly had any boyfriends, because no men were really interested in me. I was single most of my life, basically. I was so aware of my weight. I remember just like, even my own sister, when we had arguments from like even younger, so from age 11 onwards, as soon as there was a noticeable difference in my weight, like, she would throw the fat insult at me. Like, that was the only thing when people threw at me. It was just like, oh, you're fat and I'm not, or well, at least I'm not fat like you. Like, literally, that's all I got thrown. So I was always bigger through 18 to 20. My journey, so that's basically the backstory. I was just massively trying to hide it, and I was a complete denial about my weight. Completely rejected it. Would never believe I used to wear things that my slim friends would wear, thinking that I looked exactly like them, when clearly I did not. Basically, I put on all this weight and it kind of was just spiraling out of control. Obviously, the more I drank, the more I ate, the more I partied. I was stuck in this vicious circle. And then fast forward all this time, I think to 23, I got with my one of my exes. I was with him for 18 months. So during that 18 months, I wanted to make a change about how I looked. I was miserable, as I've said. I was miserable the whole time. I took some progress photos to kind of start to document my journey, and weighed. I bought some scales, and I was dead on motivated and at my biggest. So at 23, I was 261 pounds. That's like nearly 19 stone, and I was size 26. And I was in complete denial about this. I was in complete shock when I realised how big I actually was, and it kind of spiraled me a little bit more into depression. You think that would motivate you. It kind of made me miserable. I did never believe, like, I didn't tell a soul. I just couldn't believe that I was that big. Like, I just couldn't see any hope of even losing £5, let alone 20 or 30 or 50. I just couldn't imagine ever being small allow, and I'd be like crying in the changing rooms, and I just was miserable basically. So yeah, I decided to make a change. I was trying to be healthy. I joined a gym again. All I did was cardio, and I just remember like one time going with workmate, and we just sit on the bike for like an hour, just like yeah, and then we'd probably go eat Domino's or something stupid afterwards. Like, I was so uneducated. I just thought that we had to eat like 1,000 calories a day, and then every time it didn't work, I'd want to like just assume that it was me, and I failed. Like, I tried every diet under the sun, I tried Swimming World, I tried Weight Watchers, I tried everything. I was so motivated to try and do something, and I lost about 10 pounds while we were together, and then like I found it really difficult to stick to, because he just was not interested in trying to be healthy or anything, or like do stuff like that. He just wanted to drink, he just wanted to party, he just wanted to eat, and that was what I used to do too. And I found it so difficult to stay motivated and disciplined when he was just like, oh babe, don't go to the gym, we'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow never happened. Or, oh, you know, we could have a takeaway, and I'm like, oh, but I want to be healthy, but oh no, it's fine, we'll have a takeaway. And he just like, it was so easy to slip back into them habits, so it never worked basically. I was just, no. So I joined the gym, quit the gym, joined the gym, quit the gym, just never stuck to it, and I think I gained all the 10 pounds back. And then basically what kick-started it massively for me is I got dumped on a romantic weekend away with this guy. So we went all the way to Brighton on a romantic weekend away, had a lovely day out, and then we got back to the hotel room, and it was just boom, I don't love you anymore. For me back then, who was currently suffering with anxiety and depression as well, like I couldn't even leave the house by myself at this point. I couldn't go to the bar, I couldn't let people stand behind me, I couldn't order like dinner and drinks at the pub. Like I literally had, at the time they diagnosed it, social anxiety and depression. Like I couldn't walk into a room full of people, I would have to be there first. Like I had all these behaviours that I wouldn't leave the house basically. So in this room in Brighton, he was like, I don't love you anymore, and I was like, okay. And that's the last I saw of him. So I basically just got up, grabbed my stuff, and the girl with social anxiety and depression managed to get herself to a train station, walking, crying her eyes out, and got home. 3 hours from home, I got home on train. And I remember sitting on the train and I was bawling my eyes out, and some woman just come across to my table, just slid a tissue across the table and just looked at me all sad, and then just walked off. And I was like, everyone can tell you're fucking crying. So yeah, that is the moment that kind of started it all really, because it was one of those breakups where I felt my heart actually shatter. Like it actually broke, and I felt it, and I was just like, I honestly didn't think I'd be able to get through the weekend because I was that heartbroken. So basically, to get myself out of the house and crying, because I was working part-time, like I completely had a meltdown in the past 3 months of this happening. So I'd like quit my job, gone part-time in a retail job to find something else. Then I got dumped in somewhere, I had no idea where I was, and I was just miserable. Like, I joined a 24-hour gym just to get out of the house and trying to stop myself, because literally like I just couldn't stop crying. I'd just burst into tears like at any point. Like it was so unpredictable. I'd be like fine, and then I'd just cry, and I was like, this can't go on. And I would just go at 11 o'clock at night when no one was around, just to get out of the house. I would just go on the treadmill, do some cardio machines, so I'd do the stepper, or I don't know, like the bike, just to get out of the house. And then I used to wear like really oversized tops and leggings, and I'd just be so embarrassed to be there as well. So I used to just go in really late at night so no one would see me, which is ironic really, because when you're bigger you think that a gym would be the place for you to feel like a bit better, and it was actually the place that I like saw all these fit people everywhere, and I was like, I'm so ashamed to be here. But yeah, as I was like walking on the treadmill and stuff, and like cardio, I'd be like looking at all the weights machines, and I'd just like, why can't I do that? And I was just like, because I hated cardio, I hated it with passion, and that's why every time I think I fell off the bandwagon before, it's because I hated it and I couldn't stick to it. So as I was doing my cardio, I started to like Google like the weights machines, and just, I was like, oh, I'll do them as well, sort of thing, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had no idea. no idea what to feel. I felt too embarrassed to ask. Couldn't afford a personal trainer. I was just like, I'm fucked. And what I ended up doing, I would like Google machines and stuff, and then I'd do my card, like an hour worth of cardio, whatever I did, and then I'd go and do like a machine or 2 machines after to just get used to it. And I actually found that I really loved like using the resistance machines and strength training, and I hated cardio. So what I did was I did loads of Googling and like loads of research on the internet, and found bodybuilding.com, and they actually do free programs on there. So I was like, right, fuck it, I'll give myself something to focus on, something to set some goals for, and I got Lila Brada's 12-week challenge up. So it was like 80 something days, and I decided to do it, and it was all on the app and all on the phone, and then all the exercises were input. So I just started doing that in September, and it ended around Christmas time. So I was just like, decided to do that and work out, and it was like every day, so it gave me something to focus on as well. So I noticed that I wasn't crying all the time like a few weeks in, and I was like, oh okay, and I felt better. And I was like, I still felt like I shouldn't be at the gym, but I felt a lot better in myself, like getting out of the house and like doing something other than work or crying. So yeah, so I started this 12-week challenge, and it felt so good to have like tick off each day. And like the more weight training I did, I realised actually like I was getting strong. So yeah, I stuck to the challenge. So this is where I've learned all like how I basically had to weight train. So I picked it all up from the app with everything, and I was amazed to start seeing like really rapid results. So I think in the 12 weeks I lost about 30 pounds. So I got from like 261 pounds to 230. This is when I started looking at my fitness pal as well, because the more I read on my bodybuilding.com was all about macros, and I was like, what the hell's a macro? Like, what the fuck is this? I was using my fitness pal anyway, just to kind of track calories, because I thought that's how you had to lose weight. So I was eating really low. So once I started looking into it and using my fitness pal, I had kind of educated myself a bit more, found out about macros, and I managed to set myself using some online calculators. I sorted my calories out, started to like incorporate more protein, and I felt really good. And it was like around Christmas time that year that I was actually realised like I felt a lot better in myself. I wasn't missing my ex at all, like I wasn't crying anymore, and that was amazing for me, and that just blew my mind. And I was like, oh my god, maybe I can actually do this. And I loved going to the gym then. I was like obsessed, like I would love going every day, because it just made me feel so good, and it just gave me something to like focus on as well. So after those 12 weeks were up, obviously I took photos, and I just couldn't believe it. Like I was like, oh my god, like I can actually start to see some tiny changes. And even though like my ultimate goal of 106 pounds was so far away, still I still had like 70 pounds to go. I was enjoying the process a lot more, and I was like learning so much, and it was making me like so happy. So yeah, I managed to come off my medication, and I used the gym to help manage like some of my anxiety symptoms. I got a new job working in the NHS, which gave me like another outlet, and because it was still part-time, I still managed to go to the gym. And like I remember coming out of work on sunny days and just walking to the gym like in town, and I just remembered like thinking, oh my god, I feel so good. Like I was still bigger, but I felt so much better mood wise, and I was like happily walking to the gym on my own and stuff like that. I was just obsessed with weight training then. I didn't want to go back to anything else. So I found another workout program to follow. I just started just doing like focusing on weight training programs, and I was so focused and trying to get stronger as well, which was a massive thing for me. Like I didn't want it to just focus on weight training and weight loss. I wanted to get stronger, and I had a goal of deadlifting 100 kilos, so that's like 200 pounds, and I did that as 1 rep, which was really bad, but I did it. Like I can do these things, and I am very like I'm strong. And ever since then, that's when I fell into weight training and tracking my macros. I was so like amazed by what results I achieved at, and how much I fell in love with fitness. I actually trained and qualified as a personal trainer, so like with all this extra knowledge now I do my own programs, and I do my own food and stuff, and do my macros. And I think it was like 18 months later that I hit a weight loss of I hit 170 pounds. So that's like, I was 95, that was 90 pounds that I'd lost. I just couldn't believe it. And in those 18 months I completely changed as a person. Like, people would say to me, oh my god, your confidence. It would just be on random days and I'd wake up and be like, oh my god, I've done things that I would have never dreamed of. Like, I jumped out of a plane for charity, I trained as a personal trainer, I had the confidence to start dating again, like making new friends and heading to London by myself. And yeah, it just completely blew my mind that fitness had given me that opportunity, and now it's a massive part of my life. And it's completely changed from not only like my mindset, obviously my body as well. I've gone from a size 26 to a size 12, like 10 to 12, which has blown my mind. Gained massive strength, like I've learned so much. All the things I've managed to do has just all been down to fitness. So currently where I'm at now, which is probably what we all care about. So currently, because I love life a bit too much at the moment, I'm sitting around 177 pounds. So obviously, like, I've got 17 pounds to go to my ultimate goal, which is losing 100 pounds. So currently at the moment I'm trying to get 10,000 steps a day, drinking 2 litres of water and training 4 times a week with my macros, which are lower in the week and higher at the weekend, so I can eat a bit more when I'm social. I really want to get to 160 pounds before the summer, and I think it's really doable, but I just keep falling off the wagon a little bit. So this is kind of as well a chance for me to start again, and this is it. Today is the day I'm gonna sort my shit together. This is it now. Like, I've maintained for the past year, so even though I lost 85 pounds or 90 pounds in those 18 months, I've kind of stayed within the 5 pounds now of that, and I kind of want to hit 160 and just get to my goal. Like, I would love to say that I've achieved a £100 weight loss, because that would just blow my mind. I want to build more muscle, but I also need to drop some fat. That's the story of my weight loss and fitness journey. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that and I didn't ramble too much, but if I haven't answered any of the questions you may have had, let me know. I'll try and answer them in the comments below. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.